Hey everyone, this is Ryder from Skip. I hope you're doing well. It's Wednesday, September 16th. I have a very quick video update for you. Some very good stimulus news. You know, when it comes to the stimulus news, I'm always cautiously optimistic, but now 3 out of the 4 big decision makers are publicly saying they support the larger stimulus package. I'm going to give a quick recap on that, but the latest person to jump in is Trump. Trump tweeted this morning he would support a larger stimulus. Mark Meadows, the White House Chief of Staff, also is more optimistic about the chances of a bigger deal. Pelosi and Mnuchin are on board. This is overall great news. I'm going to give a quick recap of basically the last 3-4 days to bring us up to speed on where we are as of Wednesday, September 16th. COVID cases are going down, and the EIDL Bill 4227 has another sponsor for that bill, which is the full $10,000 grant for everyone who applied. So overall, good news now that the House and Senate are back in session. So let's dive in. First of all, Trump suggests he could back a bigger coronavirus stimulus, as top aide says he's more optimistic about a deal. This is from a tweet this morning. Mark Meadows, this is a big one, told CNBC he was more optimistic about the chances for a deal in the last 72 hours than he has been the last 72 days. So, to bring you up to speed, about 3 days ago in the video we talked about how Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said, spend whatever, it doesn't matter, spend whatever, it's important to get a stimulus done. Don't worry about the fiscal costs now, spend what needs to be spent. That was from Steve Mnuchin. Then Nancy Pelosi came out and said, we're going to get a deal done no matter what, no one's leaving the House until we can get a deal done. At the same time, the Problem Solvers Caucus, which is 50 Democrats and Republicans, 25 each rather, put together this March to Common Ground COVID stimulus framework. In yesterday's video, I went into detail on what's in this. Just to give you a quick recap, I'm going to link to that video though, but to give you the quick recap, this does call for extra stimulus checks number 2, and another round of PPP funding for small businesses, as well as money for testing and healthcare, money for state and local governments, and money for schools and childcare. All stuff that Democrats have been pushing for a ton, including USPS funding. So there's a lot in here. And frankly, when I looked at this, when I looked at the HEROES Act and the other proposals that have gone forth in the past 3-4 months, this does strike me as a great middle ground, which also has provisions depending on how COVID-19 progresses. If we're doing well, we can take out money. If we're doing poorly, we can add more money in. So it's a great package. I encourage you to watch that video. And if you want more details, watch the video I did yesterday. I'll link to it here and in the description. And there's a great PDF document with all of their details here. So this was put forth right when Pelosi also said we're going to get a deal done. Mnuchin said the same thing the day before. And today, Trump and Meadows have said that we're optimistic, we're going to get a deal done. The only person who hasn't spoken out, interestingly enough, is the Republican leader, Mitch McConnell. Now, I'm not sure why he hasn't spoken directly about his optimism in the past 3-4 days when Mnuchin, Pelosi, Trump, Meadows all have. However, he is in a tight race. Even though he has the edge now in Kentucky, he is in a tight race against former Marine fighter pilot Amy McGrath. The latest poll out of Quinnipiac University shows McConnell has the support of around 49% of Kentucky voters compared to just 44% backing Amy McGrath. However, in another survey, it was 49-46%. So that is a close race, even though it looks like Mitch McConnell does have the edge. However, it would be a huge deal if McConnell is unseated by Amy McGrath. So we're keeping an eye on that. But McConnell hasn't spoken about the stimulus package. But frankly, it doesn't matter because there's enough support from the Republican side. Now, in this March to Common Ground framework, just to speak to the small businesses for a second, there's a PPP Round 2. There is no more SBA EIDL funding. However, the PPP Round 2, just to clarify, it does apply to independent contractors and small businesses as well, right? So even if you got the full $10K grant from the EIDL, you would have to deduct that from the PPP forgiveness. So in many cases, the PPP is just as good, assuming you can go through the form, do the math, and make it worth your while. But frankly, from the businesses we've helped, it's very much worth it to apply for PPP, and people have had success getting them forgiven already, so that's good news. The PPP forgiveness application has been simplified a few different times, and most lenders have automatic forms where you can very quickly, in 5 or 10 minutes, submit your forgiveness application. Just to show you where we are in the case count, there's a slight uptick in the rolling 7-day average. We're around 36,000 rolling 7-day average. Overall down, but there is an uptake. A lot of this is linked to colleges and universities reopening, unfortunately. EIDL co-sponsor, big news. Kristen Sinema, a Democratic senator from Arizona, lent her support for S4227 yesterday. There's no press release on her website. We checked for that to see if she had any comments on her support. Nothing yet, but we're going to keep an eye on it. But that brings the total to 8 co-sponsors to this bill. This would be the bill that would make sure that everyone got the full $10,000 grant as originally intended in the CARES Act. Finally, we have real-time election polling results on our helloskip.com website. Here's a brief snapshot. This is not the latest data. It's updating in real time. It's getting closer. If you're curious and want to see our poll, if you're a Skip member, there's a link to it on your dashboard already. There's also a link to it if you're using our Vote by Mail tracker. Again, all of these things are free. However, if you don't have a free Skip account, it takes 2 seconds. You can go to trackyourballot.org. You land on this page, and then you click Get Info and Track Status. You'll see info about your state, what you need to do. Again, you don't have to request a mail-in ballot. It's just to give you information so you're up to speed on what your options are. And then you'll have access to your dashboard where you can track your ballot if you want to. Again, it's optional. And also, more importantly, see real-time election polling results. Next week, we're going to have a map of how states are swinging. So now's a good time to get that going. Finally, a quick update on our $1,200 stimulus check giveaway, continuing to grow, continuing to get support. Thank you so much, everyone, for subscribing, liking these videos, and leaving comments. 100% of our YouTube revenue this month is going straight back to you. In case you haven't heard the news, I'm going to link to this video right now. We're giving away $1,200 stimulus checks to subscribers of our channel, but you need to watch this video. It's a quick video, and based on how we're doing so far, it's very likely we're going to continue this through October, if not through the end of the year. As always, thank you so much for your support. Stay well, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow.